Hello, how are you all doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Everybody good? I like the jokes, I don't have any, but I like them. Yours were great, Larry. Thank you for having us here. I'll first start by telling you a little bit about myself. As was said earlier, the CEO of the Louisiana Children's Museum, and I started almost a year ago now. I'm loving my new city. It was great to hear Danielle Del Sol talk about the city, and I learned a lot from her just having moved here. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. So I've been in the field of children's museums, science museums, nature centers for my entire career. It's a nonprofit industry. That's about 28 years. Prior to moving to New Orleans, I served 5.5 years as Chief Learning Officer in Charlotte at a museum called Discovery Place. Discovery Place is a network of 4 museums. It has a science center, a nature center, and 2 children's museums. Prior to returning to Discovery Place, I served as president and CEO of Discovery Children's Museum, which is in Las Vegas, Nevada. And in that role, I led the exhibition, programming design, and fabrication of a $50 million campaign. That project, in essence, transformed the city and the museum to a world-class facility with a focus on the local community, community collaborations, the business community, and key stakeholders. I earned a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry and a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Psychology from Johnson C. Smith University, which is a HBCU in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I also received a executive MBA from the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. I currently serve as a board member and the chair of the governance committee for the Association of Children's Museum, which is our national association, kind of like your national association here today. I want to give you a glimpse of what we're going to talk about this evening, but before I do that, I want to introduce the wonderful architectural professionals that I get to share the stage with here tonight. So the next person I'll introduce is Allison Stuse. And Allison Stuse is a local New Orleanian who served as the project director for the Louisiana Children's Museum City Park project. After spending years in private practice and with a passion for placemaking architecture deployed for high community impact, Allison undertook a pivotal role in championing the paradigm shift of the Louisiana Children's Museum, which you'll hear more about this evening. This endeavor not only brought the architectural brilliance to a challenging and sensitive site, but it underscored the institution and the city's commitment to fostering impactful learning environments for young children. These days, Allison continues to manage the design and construction of architecturally ambitious projects. Now a freelance project management consultant, her most recent projects are the Sandy Simone Center for Dance, which opened in January of 23, and the Hilbert Museum of California Art to be completed next month. Both of these projects were for Chapman University in Southern California. Allison earned her Bachelor's of Arts in Italian and Art History from Middlebury College in Vermont, and her Master's of Architecture from our very own Tulane University here in New Orleans, where she was honored with the Thesis Director Award for Commendation and the AIA Award for General Excellence in Architecture. Allison has also been the recipient of the President Volunteer Service Award for Dedication and Volunteerism, and she holds the inaugural Julia Webb Bland Award for meaningful contributions to the enrichment of children. Our next accomplished speaker is going to be Rich Franco, Fellow of the American Institute of Architects. He is also an architect and a partner at Methuen. Methuen is an integrated design firm of architects, landscape architects, interior design, and planning. Last year, Methuen was selected as AIA 2023 Firm of the Year for design work supporting their mission of design for positive change. Rich attended RPI School of Architecture and has worked on a large variety of projects, from the renovation of the National Immigration Museum at Ellis Island to the tribal museums for the Suquamish and Wanapum tribes in Washington State. Hopefully I said that correctly. Yes. The recent design for the Blakely Elementary School was awarded the International McConnell Award, and he has completed multiple projects selected for the AIA Coat Top 10 and the AIA Design Awards. Rich is a leader of the Methuen Sustainability Integration Team across 3 offices, one in San Francisco, the other in Los Angeles, and the final in Seattle. Rich's favorite projects are blending the unique cultures, diverse ages, biodiverse landscapes, and spatially varying sequence he calls the choreography of experience. Our very own Louisiana Children's Museum and the National Nordic Museum are 2 examples of this concept, actualized with a very different design solution to highlight the different ecosystems, programs, and communities. Rich is currently working on multiple museum projects, as well as the renovation of the historic University of Washington Shell House, featured in the new movie, Boys in the Boat. I will also give you a glimpse of our program for this evening and what each of us are going to do. So while you set that up, I'll keep going. So I'll introduce the museum, and I'll provide some closing thoughts afterwards, and I'll facilitate the question and answer session. Allison is going to talk about the history of the project, the founding principles, and the process that fed the design for the project. And then Rich is going to talk about the specificity of the design process and the architectural outcomes. So let's talk a little bit about the introducing of the museum. The Louisiana Children's Museum is located in City Park. City Park is a very large park here in here in New Orleans. It's a state park. It's actually one of the largest parks. It's 1,300 acres. The museum is on 8.5 acres of indoor and outdoor space, and it's about 56,000 square feet in the building footprint. So now I'm going to pass it over to Allison, who will take us through the history of the project.
We're having a couple of technical difficulties, so give us just a second. What I have to say is going to be much more interesting if you can see these slides. I'm worried about you all. Are you hungry? Yes. I know, I'm sorry. This should be like passing around hamburgers or something.